Well, hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so very much for joining me. Tonight, we are talking about the Nancy Guthrie case out of Pima County, Arizona. We are learning a little bit more about these ransom letters, what they mean, and more about Sheriff Doofy. Also, we are going to be talking about the critical investigation that they ignored. Grossly incompetent. A lot to talk about that and a lot more on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face.
Sing it if you know it.
They called me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just
Thank you, Miss
watch me
Susan.
stand.
Appreciate you. Thank you, love. Appreciate that.
I've been whispered about and written off, judged by the gloss, not the cost. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and pearls. The final
Thank you, Miss
scale,
Patty.
it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul, through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my
Thank you, Miss Cindy.
energy vine. Clutch them pearls.
Let's go.
Hold up, lights on, chat in the room, another late night, and another headline blooming. Coffee going cold, but the story got heat, and one little detail keep tapping my screen. Coming in clutch, when the timeline bends, we don't just scroll, we connect loose ends. Somebody said, nah, that's probably enough, but the chat said, Justin, we're coming in clutch. Run that back, don't rush that part. Something fell wrong from the very first start. Different day, same shaky excuse, and the math ain't mathin' when we check the proof. I'm not here to play detective for fame, I'm here when the story starts changing names. One clip, one call, one post too much, and the whole room knows we're coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, yeah, the facts stay loud. Truth don't hide when we bring the crowd. Screens lit up and the chat don't sleep. We dig real deep where the stories get steep. Pearls in the chat, lights in the back. Somebody better explain why the story went flat. You can dodge one question, maybe dodge two, but the internet clock what you said don't cue. Wait. Say that again, you said it was there, then it wasn't back then. You said you forgot, but the record got saved. Now the chat's wide awake and the room just changed.
Coming in clutch when it all gets strange, when the facts get buried and the tone starts change. We don't need drama, the truth does enough, that's why they pull up, we're coming in clutch.
Late night crew, yeah, we built this thing. One live stream turned to a whole damn ring. Members in green minds holding it down. Whole chat moving like a small town crowd. No fake hype, no lazy spin, just one more clue when we're back back again. If it don't sit right, we don't let it slide. We put the detail right up on live.
Coming in clutch, say it one more time. Whole room locked on the very next line. From the first red flag to the final touch, you know where to be, we're coming in clutch.
When the screen fades out and the night gets still, somebody somewhere knows truth comes real. We'll be right here when the next facts drop. Coming in clutch and we don't just stop.
Bam. Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so very much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very, very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is August 4th. Can you believe that? 2026. It is currently 10:08 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Yeah, Miss Eureka. Yeah, we was over on Hatfield and McCoy's talking about Summerwell. You're right, it was crazy over there. Anywho, tonight we are talking about the Nancy Guthrie case out of Pima County, Arizona, and a lot just gross negligence, if you ask me. And if I was the Guthrie family, I would be really pissed off, to be quite frank with you on that. Guys, before we get started, I wanted to just ask if you pray or send good vibes or whatever. Perez Hilton is, I'm sure some of you have seen it. He's, Perez Hilton. He's kind of like TMZ, if you will. It's like a gossip column or whatever. He's been around for years. He is having a true mental health emergency. He goes live quite a bit. I'm a member of his channel here on YouTube. I've actually talked to Perez a couple times throughout the last few years. I've talked to him in his chat a lot. But anyway, he was live just a little bit ago. And he has 3 kids, by the way. And he was with a knife everywhere. It's so bad. It is so bad, guys. Like, he looked like he was red from head to toe. And it is very disturbing. Yeah, I know. It's so bad. And he just got out of the hospital not too long ago, actually. And he had a couple surgeries and all that. And once you see that, you will not be able to unsee it. I promise you that. He just had a butcher knife and was just everywhere. And I don't know what's going on with him, but I don't want to see anybody in pain like that. And he's just like any of us on that is a public figure or limited public figure. People have opinions on him, and he's done some not great things in life, but regardless, he has a family, and I hate it for him. It's so bad. If you have not seen it, it's so bad, guys. I cannot get it out of my head. Did he get his kids taken away yesterday? Not that I'm aware of. Did you see that somewhere? His mom takes care of the kids a lot. I don't know. I wouldn't think so. Yeah, it says he didn't. Mm-mm. No. And after he almost died. He was like 90 pounds. We're getting off on a subject here. We're going to get to Nancy Guthrie, I promise you. But he was like 90 pounds, and he was gray when he almost died just a few months ago. And he became Christian, and he was doing really, really good after that. Just a kind of a whole new Perez, because he was kind of a shock jock, if you will. He was very, very popular in the late 90s, maybe not late 90s, early 2000s, really popular. He was the TMZ. Yeah. And he started an empire from just his computer. So I hope he's okay. I really hope he's okay. Stardom's gonna screw you up. Well, it can be a lot of pressure. You have to separate. You have to separate it, right? Because I mean, there are, the people, just like we all do, we judge things just based on what we know, and everyone has an opinion about everything. And some people will flat out hate you for whatever reason. They just don't like you for whatever reason, or they have a reason. And it can really fuck with people's heads if you're not careful. So you just kind of have to just go along with it. Yeah. But there's no way YouTube would allow it on here. Because it looks like a straight up scene. That's right, Brandy. That's right. Yeah. 1 second. It messed with me. Oh gosh. I hate that. He's a good guy. He's chilled out. The sound will haunt me. Yeah. It's bad. It is so bad, y'all. He was supposedly barricaded too. Yeah. They need to. He's got a long road ahead of him. Whatever. I don't know what caused it. I'm not even going to speculate, what it is. Everyone goes through things in life, and sometimes they self-medicate, sometimes they stop taking medications. Don't know, but it's but he's really down to earth guy. So I know he's got 3 children. They are absolutely amazing, and his mom is a big help, really big help. I think he's got a lot of, I don't want to speculate, but I think he's got, he's the breadwinner. It's just him. And he's got a lot of pressure. It's a tough business working for yourself, and he's got, just so much things he's got to pay for, and his lifestyle and everything, and it's get with you. Anywho, we're here to talk about Nancy Guthrie. Just send prayers and good vibes, or anything that's good his way and his family. So 1 second, y'all. 1 second. I apologize. Okay, sorry about that. I had to grab something. Okay, so we're here to talk about Nancy Guthrie. Guys, before we get started, please do me a big favor. Hit that thumbs up button. and share this live stream out. Would love for you guys to do that. Also on YouTube, if you would consider hyping this video after the live stream on your mobile device. You get 3 hypes a week, and if you don't use it, you lose it. You have to do it after the live stream on your phone and or your tablet. So lots of kind of things happening in Pima County. Still, Nancy's not found, unfortunately, but these new reports that are out, just absolute gross incompetence. And I've got the original letter, by the way. I finally found that. Thank you so much, AZ. Oh, I forgot to thank you guys. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate you. Thank you for the silver star. Thank you for the gold coin, Susan. Thank you, Patty, for the gold coin. Thank you, Cindy, for the flower. Appreciate you, Patty. Thank you for the hiding. Army Wife, thank you for the gold coin. User, thank you for the sparkle. And Broken Black Skies, thank you for the floating heart. And AZ Sunshine, thank you for the floating heart. Appreciate you very, very much. I'm going to get into... Oh, yeah. By the way, sheriff is getting sued. The sheriff's department is getting sued for $100 and some million. What was it? Sorry, two. Let's go. Well, there's 2 lawsuits in a week, actually. Carlos and them is suing, and this guy that was essentially wrongfully detained. We showed that video yesterday. This guy was swatted. Sheriff's department told him, "Oh, don't worry about it. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here." They came with GUNs ablazing. Yeah. Thank you, butterflies. Thank you for the flower, babe. Appreciate you. Brian looks so handsome there, doesn't he? Like this haircut. All right, let's go.
So 6 months after one of the most high-profile abduction cases in modern times, and Nancy Guthrie's family is still no closer to getting answers. Now new reporting on the mysterious crime is providing a deep dive on the investigation and really just a damning picture of dysfunction at the sheriff's office, starting all the way at the top. According to a lengthy Wall Street Journal investigation, the first investigators on the scene did not think the blood on...
Well, I'll tell you this, Nice Marie. She says, yeah, the lawsuit, maybe all the truth will change me out on this investigation, allegedly. Like you mean might come out? Is that what you mean? I think that Sheriff Doofy, at the very minimum right now, oh, you're sweet, Paps. Thank you. I think that it's going to put pressure on him to get him out of there even more, right? I mean, can you imagine you've got like $176 million lawsuit, a guy that is paralyzed the rest of his life, and then you've got Carlos. They won't say whether they're not suspects anymore. They'll say the Guthrie family isn't suspects. Like I said, clear those guys up. If they are not suspects, they don't deserve to have that over their head for 6 months. That's just the truth. Nobody would want that, right? If they have some connection, you know, I understand that. But clear them. If you can clear the family, you can clear Carlos and what's his name? I can't even think. Luke Daly. I mean, nobody would want that over their heads. This is one of the biggest true crime cases in recent history.
On the porch was a big deal, assuming initially that it was not related to Nancy Guthrie going missing. Now, of course, we now know the tests confirm that it is in fact Nancy's blood, and detectives now think it came from getting hurt during the abduction. The journal highlights the failure to secure the crime scene, something we've talked about a lot over the last several months. And it's the reason News Nation was able to first get those images of the blood spatter that we showed you right from the front porch. The porch was freely accessible to reporters. I was there.
Yeah,
reporters were able to walk up,
Kevin.
delivery people, basically anybody who wanted to walk up to Nancy Guthrie's front door because they cleared the crime scene.
Again, it's just absolute. I mean, like, shit. I mean, they put tape up for, anything. Caution tape, crime tape up, right? You cross that, your ass is going to get arrested. They didn't have crime tape up for 3 days. I'll never forget when I've been on the Nancy case since day 2. We went live, and Daphne and I were live together, and I was like, holy hell, they don't even have crime tape up. They didn't even have crime tape up. People just delivering fucking pizzas. I would be so pissed if I was the Guthrie family. Yet left the doormat, cleared the scene in 36 hours. Right. First thing that goes up is fucking tape. Even before, like, after you initially enter the house and see that it's a crime scene, Crime 101, put the tape up. It was a free-for-all. And I believe if Sheriff Doofy would have had experienced homicide investigators and they would have let the FBI do a lot more, we wouldn't be here right now. Oh, it's, like I said, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. If we're lucky enough for this to ever go to trial, all they have to do is have Sheriff Doofy play the video of the reporter asking, are you afraid, like, if this ever goes to trial, Sheriff Doofy, that, because you didn't actually, how did he word it? You cleared it so fast, and then anybody could have went in there, within 24 hours. And then I think day 3 or 4, the FBI cleared or, closed it off again. And he's like, oh, we'll let the prosecutors worry about that. Oh, it's all ego. He's a little man with a big ego. That's all. Hey, Deb, good to see you. Hey, Michelle, thank you so much for that pledge, girl. How you doing? Good to see you. I don't know. Someone said it in chat. I don't know. I've heard that. Look it up. The first ransom letter was January 1990. Carlos' birthday is January 1990. Oh, hold on. I've got it right here, actually. Oh, interesting. Yes. Yes, Chewy. Let me show y'all that. Look at that. Okay. So here is another blunder, and I mean blunder, that Pima County couldn't get right either. They sent out completely unredacted email address. They sent out a complete unredacted birth dates and complete unredacted the Bitcoin account. And here's the original. Monday, it says, which please enter your date of birth. It says Monday, January 1st, 1990. Now, could be just because that is, it's January. They selected the first thing. But Carlos' birthday is January 1990. That is true. That is true. So, is that one of the reasons? And the Bitcoin address right there. Just absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Bitcoin address right there. Can't even get that right, guys. I'd be so pissed.
The report cites department sources to portray Sheriff Chris Nanos as petty and out for revenge against his rivals, according to the
He is a petty little witch.
Wall Street Journal. After his re-election victory, he sidelined deputies who supported his opponent, which brings us to perhaps the most damning of all the journal's revelations. It reports the department's most valuable search tool sat unused in the crucial first hours after Nancy went missing. The Journal reports they couldn't find a deputy qualified to fly the high-tech Cessna search plane because the senior pilot who was scheduled had just been demoted following a workplace complaint. And again, this is something that we looked into and reported on.
Well, no.
Early on with the investigation.
We don't know. That's probably just made up. But they make you put a birthday in it. We're going to go deeper into that in just a minute. I'm going to show you what all you have to enter when you do this as well. Like when you give that tip to TMZ or whoever.
That pilot had also supported the sheriff's challenger, which was an issue for the sheriff. The report hits right as the department faces a multi-million-dollar legal claim. Carlos Palazuelos was detained in February, then released without explanation. He and his family filed a $3.25 million notice of claim alleging wrongful detention and defamation. And in a News Nation national exclusive, I spoke a short time ago with Jesse Showalter, the attorney representing Palazuelos.
Well, Carlos, he has his birthday is January 1990. Now that could be just a coincidence. I don't know, crazy.
Jesse, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you taking the time. I was thinking back today to when I was out at your client's house. There was the big raid that night in Rio Rico, and everybody sort of thought that was it, that was going to be who was responsible for what happened to Nancy Guthrie. There was the FBI out there. There were so many deputies. They had the whole road closed down. And then I remember Josefina coming out and just immediately saying, like, this isn't right.
Yeah, I think it's made up. I really do. I think it's made up, in my opinion.
Have the wrong person. None of this makes any sense. And I actually believed her. Sometimes in that situation, you would think to yourself, like, oh, maybe she's just in denial. But there was just something about the way she was describing it. I think maybe she's correct. Have you been able to, up until this point, figure out why they zeroed in on your client, Carlos?
Okay, so
no, we still haven't, as it stands right now.
This is Carlos's attorney. And again, it's very, a lot of times they won't show you, they usually show you the search warrant, but they usually have to provide you with some information on why, unless there is, how can I say it, unless they're still considering them potentially a suspect and they're still digging into that. But damn, come on, I mean, he's suing you guys.
Now all of the purported evidence that they used to obtain the search warrant that we think was obtained without probable cause is sealed, and so we can't look at it, we can't analyze it.
They sealed that mofo. I'm gonna tell you something. Now, with Carlos, I think it was just Pima County. Now, with Luke, it was definitely the FBI with them, and the Attorney General signed off on that probable cause search warrant as well. That's why I've always been more interested in Luke than I have Carlos. He lives closer, all of that. But they have this sealed. And listen, if they jumped the gun on this, so to speak. It's going to be a very embarrassing if there's no connection whatsoever in the Guthrie case.
And the sheriff Nanos, won't tell us what it is. So until we're able to do that, until we're able to see the search warrant application.
Yeah, the FBI was present with Carlos, but from what I understand, I don't think the FBI did the search warrant on that one. I think it was, from what I understand, it was just Pima County on that one.
And any affidavits with it, we're not going to know what the claims were that brought Carlos to the attention of the Pima County Sheriff's Office, and that's what we're fighting to do.
So even though you haven't seen the search warrant, months have gone by, have you gotten any kind of inkling? Has your client, has Carlos come up with anything? I mean, was he in the neighborhood doing a delivery? Is there?
And that's the thing that everyone first goes to. Well, was he in the neighborhood delivering packages at 2 a.m.? Why would nobody delivers packages at 2 a.m.? Maybe DoorDash, which he did DoorDash, I think, didn't he? Did he do DoorDash? What did he do? Or his girlfriend did DoorDash. Maybe that, but again, DoorDash has GPS, right? You can see your DoorDash driver driving right to your house. Uber Eats, maybe. I get overnight packages delivered all the time and live in Phoenix. Do you get it at 2 o'clock in the morning? I would think they wouldn't want anyone going to someone's house at 2 o'clock in the morning. Correct. Pima County issued a search warrant. However, affidavit were not attached to the search warrant and not given to him. Yeah. Well, they don't want that. They don't want him to know what they know. Right, that's the reason they do that. Yeah. Whoever it is, they are familiar to the area, even if they did a dry run to scope the place out, they still would have to know the area considered a layout and the darkness. 1,000%. Do we have a dirty judge too? Well, it's not just the judge, the attorney general even signed off on it, right? Yeah, I remember them being on a DoorDash when they pulled him. I think it was DoorDash, but I couldn't remember. Really, Amazon has overnight, but here in Florida, it's 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. I wouldn't want anybody delivering packages at my house at 4 o'clock in the morning. To me, that's dangerous. Like, which I'm in Appalachia, you'd get, real quick here. My neighbor had a package delivered at 4:30 a.m. I thought that was strange. It might be a different kind of package. You never know. That's the only packages I know that's delivered at 4:30 in the morning. You're a rug dealer. I'm in Texas, get package delivered 24/7 on Amazon and a few others. Sometimes they deliver to me 2 days in a row to meet their delivery promise.
Something that's crossed your desk, you're like, okay, maybe that's where the mix-up came from?
Yeah, as it stands right now, we've not been able to figure out anything. On the night in question, Carlos was not in that neighborhood.
Or an escort. Yeah. Listen, we've all done the walk of shame at some point in our life.
That's our understanding. And the reality is Pima County took Carlos's phone. They did a download on.
Yes, and that is true. He didn't work for Amazon. He works for GLS, the delivery. But he said he was helping out his girlfriend or his wife or whoever she is. Thank you, Melissa, for the silver star. Appreciate you very, very much, my dear. I think someone mentioned that he works for, yeah, it's a GLS, but he supposedly helps his girlfriend or something. I often pick up the Amazon packages at the doorstep. I live in Idaho. Really? Yes, they deliver in the middle of the night. My camera alarm goes off. Don't say you haven't, Dawn. I'm not going to judge you. It's a safe space here. Justin, if you have Amazon Premium or Premier, they do deliver at 4 a.m.
And if there actually was anything against him, we wouldn't be here right now. It's from our perspective, it's very, very clear that they made a mistake. What's not clear yet is the precise contours of that mistake. Were they relying on a false tip? Were they relying on maybe bad information from flock cameras?
Now you see, like with Kayla Day, like I think that's how they got to Luke, in my opinion. That's how they got to Luke. But this is it's not supposed to work like this, at least. Like if Kayla said, well, I think Luke is involved, right? That's not enough to get a search warrant. Like you've got to show some receipts, right? Because they have to take that to a judge, a magistrate, and build the probable cause for that. So it's weird to me. Like, we don't know how they got to Carlos, though. And they went to Carlos first. And then 24 hours later, they went to Luke's. Hello, hello. Thank you so much. Isn't that a little dangerous? How often do they have a... That's what I'm screaming. That's what I'm screaming. Hello, hello. Around here, I don't think that would work. I don't think that would work. Because around here, we normally pew-pew before we speak. We pew-pew when we ask questions later. I agree. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. I hope you feel better, Little Red. I've gotten Amazon deliveries after 11 p.m. Now, I've got Amazon packages on Sunday.
Or government databases.
Had a FedEx guy. Actually, this past Sunday, I was out in my garden and I was working and had this FedEx guy hand me a package. I was like, oh, y'all deliver on Sunday. He's like, every day.
We don't know, but we expect we'll find out because we're on the road toward litigation.
Did Carlos give his DNA?
Carlos's DNA was taken by investigators. They did swabs at the...
Think about this as well. Okay, so Carlos's DNA was taken. I thought that would have been... I thought that would be part of the search warrant with Luke, especially. And, when I showed you guys the other day, they had another search warrant in May for Luke. And it's just interesting to me because he's already a felon. They would have already had his DNA. Why did they do another search warrant in May? You would think that they would have done a search warrant for his DNA when they were at his house and impounding his Range Rover as well, right? Social Butterfly, thank you for the sparkles, my darling. Appreciate you very much. Thank you, love. They always deliver my stuff to someone else. Oh, it's not good. Yes, guys, please hit that thumbs up button. Greatly appreciate you all being here.
Scene or at his house, or I should say down the street from his house. And, and then, like I said, they took his phone, they took his DNA.
Phone DNA.
That's what we know.
I want to play for you, Jesse, something that Sheriff Nanos said just in the last couple of days.
They also searched his cars. Two of them, right? They searched his cars as well. So phone, DNA, searched his cars. I don't think they really kept his cars that long, though.
In relation to who's been cleared and who's not been cleared. Listen to this.
Absolutely, yes. They could come up again. I think I early on said, look, there is no suspects. The family is not suspects. They're not. Now, does that mean that ends it forever? No. What happens if next week somebody calls and says, hey, a family member did this, and here.
Do you hear this, mofo? Do you hear this, mofo? I have never, I mean ever in my life, seen a police officer say, the family are not suspects. You should be ashamed of yourself. Now, does that mean it's always going to be like that? Well, what if, next week someone says, well, the family did it? Then don't fucking say that, Nanos. FBI will never tell you that someone is cleared. Ever. Ever. He does backtrack it. He does allegedly backtrack it. But again, this is stupid that he said this to begin with. And that tells me, in my opinion, that they don't know. They have no idea. They have nothing, in my opinion, by that comment. They need to search Luke's old car or Mama's car. Does the department see there's something wrong with him? They do. Well, he's got a, what is it, a 99% unfavorable rating? Hey, Widow, does anyone remember when Carlos said LE even searched a broken down van? Yes, sure do. I think it was a white van. Nano seems to be saying more regarding family as of the last interview, and then in true Nano style backpedals. Yeah. No public named suspects equals no one is cleared.
That's how I know it. That always opens a door. Because you're eliminated doesn't mean you didn't do it.
What's interesting
Hold
there,
on.
Jesse,
What the
is
fuck did he say there?
Mean how I know it. That always opens a door. Because you're eliminated doesn't mean you didn't do it.
I quit. Done. Because you're eliminated doesn't mean you didn't do it. Yeah, it kind of does. It kind of does. It means you are I quit. I'm done. I'm done. Oh my God. I would, no wonder this mofo has a 99% unfavorability rating. Thank you. Hello. I don't think it's LD. They would have already had Porch guy. See, I understand what you're saying, but I kind of disagree with that, because I think sometimes you need, sometimes law enforcement knows who it is for a long time, but they've got to collect everything, because once you arrest someone, the clock starts for them. And you have so many days to go to trial. If they want a, speedy trial, you only have so many days. Clock starts. So you might have 20 things that points to their guilt, but maybe only 10 of those things will be entered into court. The judge might throw out the other 10 things. So you want to collect that in the meantime before you arrest. So I do understand what you're saying, but I think, I don't know. You know what I mean? Hello. Don't worry, I'll take all opinions. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you. It's all about opinion. I mean, that's all we have on this case, really, is opinions. That's it, unfortunately. Rumor has it's from earlier. Luke Daly refused a DNA test. Well, you once you get a warrant, there is no refusing. There is no refusing. They will get the DNA from you. Once they got that warrant, now they can say, hey, can we have your DNA? And you can willingly give them your DNA. But once they print up the warrant, they're getting the DNA. I do wonder if Carlos was targeted due to a package he may have delivered, may have been connected to a package originator and or the receiver. I don't know what you mean. He may have delivered. I get that part. Have been connected to a package originator. Oh, but that would indicate like you mean like Nancy would get a suspicious package? Is that what you mean? I mean, here's my thing. I just cannot see. I don't care if he delivers for GLS, QVC, F FedEx, whoever. If he wasn't in that area for 40 some minutes and went to some strange area after that, like a desert in the out way, to hide a body or something like that, I don't see why they would connect him. I just don't think it can be, the shape of your eyes. Hello. Felons have to do DNA to if convicted. Absolutely. And that's the whole point about, when you are a felon in the United States, you have limited rights, right? You are not your rights are limited. You can't vote. You can't carry GUNS. What else? There's a few different things. So, and your DNA is collected, right? And that's put into a database because you are a high risk citizen and you're likely to, unfortunately, reoffend again. So, Joe, no politics. A search warrant does not mean someone is guilty, but police cannot obtain one based solely on God. No. But it makes me wonder, though, Deb, did they push this through? You know what I mean? Were they so constrained with pressure that they were like, let's just try it? Now, less than 7% of the time, and that's being really generous, the FBI will not do the FBI walks away less than 7% of the time with nothing with that search warrant, meaning they usually know what you have, what you did even before that search warrant is there, right? A search warrant has to be very, very specific, right? Who, what, when, where, how. You've got to show all of that, right? Who it was, what you're looking for, what room you're looking in, why it's going to be in that room. But it makes me wonder, again, it takes a lot to break your constitutional rights of your person and your affects, your stuff, for essentially the government to go into your home and look through your shit, to put it just kind of bluntly. Also, Justin, that broken down white van is another detail that should not be ignored. What connected that vehicle closely enough to justify searching it? Right. If it was broken down, if it was truly broken down, it couldn't have went anywhere, right? Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, they're kind of hand in hand, right? Probable cause. We have probable cause to believe that this more likely happened than didn't, based upon who, what, when, where, how. Was the blue package delivered Sunday morning or Saturday night? Delivered the package on Nancy Guthrie's porch. Makes me think held back schedule for surveillance the property, in my opinion. I don't know, but I mean, if you are getting a search warrant because a man delivered a package, this guy is on GPS. Every delivery driver nowadays is on GPS, right? Because you know if your package is out for delivery. Everything is on GPS nowadays, delivery people. You can follow him. If he was there, 10 seconds on Nancy's porch and walked back out, you're going to know that. Very simply. The package wasn't there that night. The delivery got delivered the next day or after. They kept his brother-in-law, Daniel, remember, Josephina said they kept the son longer than Carlos and nobody heard from him. I'm trying to remember about that.
What's interesting there, Jesse, is he said that he sort of alluded to the fact in that soundbite that, nobody's cleared, the family could come up again. After he did that interview, though, he did another interview that he put out where he said, no, the family are not suspects. They are victims in this. But throughout all of it, he has said that your client and the other man who was detained at the other raid are not cleared, that at this point he hasn't budged on that. Why do you think he's doing that?
I mean,
Summer Breeze. Oh, thank you, Summer Breeze. I appreciate you. Congratulations, Justin, on getting 44,000 subscribers. Thank you for covering Nancy Guthrie case. Much appreciated. Thank you so much, Summer Breeze. It's all because of you guys. Every single one of you. I am thankful for every single 44,000 of you subscribing. I really do appreciate you guys. You guys are what makes it all possible. So thank you very much. Thank you for that. Thank you for the support, my dear. Wendy says people were sending pizzas to address to let them know that they have your address paid for. I think it was YouTubers that was just saying, writing in the address to Nancy Guthrie's house, and they were delivering it. I think that's what it was. It was just YouTubers who was hungry, or the media who was hungry, and they just put in Nancy's address. Lazy Day says, based on what I've seen, Carlos didn't change his looks while others did. Very good point. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. It seems that way. Correct. It does. Luke, he wore, it looked like he was, in fall, in New England, dressed. Except, it's in Tucson during his interview. Love you too, Debbers. And seemingly shaved off his goatee. And Carlos, he was kind of dumbfounded, it seemed like. Thank you, Summer Breeze. I think they were just showing love to YouTubers and had no clue. Well, I've been out in front of houses before, and you guys have sent food and everything while we were out there. So if that's what, yeah, that can happen too. Subs can send food. They send food all the time when you're out there. So yeah, I'm from New England, and I thought, dressed like that in AZ. It was weird, wasn't it? Luke even looked like he bulked up. Yeah, he did. But again, I don't think this guy's Luke. I just don't. I don't know. Especially his lips. The key question remains, what changed between the initial search and the May warrant? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The statements that Sheriff Nanos has been making are really disturbing because it looks like he's just lost at sea. It looks like he's out of his depth. He doesn't, he doesn't have control of this investigation. He doesn't have leads, and he doesn't even have the ability to exercise restraint in his speech. It would be perfectly okay for him to say.
Allegedly, the FBI has pulled back a little bit on this as well. Oh, hello, you did it again. Thank you so much, babe. Appreciate you. My job has trackers on us, and we can be in one spot for hours, really. Pretty sure my personal truck has that black box thing too. Some of y'all might even know. You might not. So if you mean the telematics in the vehicle, if your vehicle is 2015 or older, you have it. If your vehicle is 2015 or older, you 100% have it. Sky Maiden's late. Good to see you. Good to see you, honey. But yeah, but here's the thing though, like if you're like, I understand, like if you're a truck driver, and you drive a 18-wheeler, you can spend the night in front of the Family Dollar, the Dollar General, or Walmart or whatever while it's being unloaded, or you got to wait till the store opens or whatever. But with his, what, you wouldn't be sitting in a residential neighborhood. You know what I mean? Would you? Like, you wouldn't just be sitting in a residential neighborhood for that long, in my opinion. Thank you for that, my dear. Brandy says, did anyone notice that Z answered every single question with a question, and he would basically repeat what was clarified in the response? Yeah, he's let me think of that. He did say a couple things that was, weird to me. Him and Luke, one thing is very interesting for me, him and Luke realized that someone was following them, and they both, wait, did Luke get out? Was Luke like, what the hell's going on? Why are you following me? I know Carlos did. But Luke said that when he was pulled over, he thought it might have been about the Nancy Guthrie case. And to me, that just really stood out. Like, I don't care if, something went on in my town like that and I got pulled over. I would not be thinking it was for the Nancy Guthrie case. I just wouldn't. Would you? I wouldn't think, oh, well, they're pulling me over because of the Nancy Guthrie case. Now, Luke said, I think they just might have want to pin it on me. I didn't like that statement either. Yeah, Culver's, yeah. Luke was being trapped when he was pulled over in the Range Rover. And I think probably one of the only things that Carlos said that really stuck out to me was something about going to prison forever. But for me, Luke's interview was really weird. I also did not like it that Luke was in the chair beside of his mother when she was being interviewed, because I feel like that really dictated her answers. I didn't like that at all. I wish they would have been either two separate occasions or two separate rooms. I would think Ruggs, because of his history. Yeah, I mean, that, or, maybe I was speeding, maybe I didn't turn on my signal, maybe my sticker's dead. In his case, maybe they got a warrant out for him for, again. Okay, think about this. Excuse me. Luke was already in trouble before this, right? He was already in trouble for this. Wouldn't you think that he would be thinking, oh, well, maybe they've got a warrant on me because of my rug situation that I'm going to court with coming up? You would think it would be more like that than it would be, oh, well, it's because of Nancy Guthrie. You get what I mean? Let me find that. Let me find that right here. Watch this.
Simply say,
we've seen this 1,000 times, but I want to show you again. I'm going to make my point really clear. Hello. Thank you again, babe. You're very kind. I don't work overnight unless I'm plowing snow. You're certainly not in Arizona. I wasn't even thinking the overnight thing, but now you have my brain thinking. Well, good. We gotta scratch our brains, right? Listen to this.
Thing that it said that the detectives would be there to talk to me. And once I saw like FBI and all the other cars start pulling in, I'm like, oh, this is probably about the Guthrie case. I'm like, this should be easy. Like, I have nothing to do with this. So like,
right there. When he says, oh shit, wrong. I need to put so he says, once they all started coming in, they didn't tell him what was up. I thought this was about, immediately thought this was about the Nancy Guthrie case. He should have thought it was, in my opinion at least, it was about his drug conviction. Maybe a warrant out for that. Maybe a driving infraction. Like I said, sticker dead, didn't make, turn a signal on. Why would you immediately think that was because of Nancy Guthrie? This should be easy, he said. He's got his Sherlock Holmes get up on. He did say he saw the FBI. That would seem weird to me. What's with his voice? He is not breathing. He's breathing very shallow because he's very anxious here. He's very anxious here. I'm not trying to be ugly, but he was dressed like he was going to hunt bear. You know what to me, he's dressed like do you guys remember the is it Berenstein Bears or something like that? Those cartoons? I thought that's what he was writing. Exactly, Justin. Who would say such an odd statement like that? I thought his mom appeared to be hiding something as well. I think his mom is a good lady. I think Luke just has the wool pulled over her eyes. That's just my opinion. Guilt is why he'd say that. LOL. That's what I agree about his clothes. It was 90 that day. I don't know. It
should be not a big deal to clear my name and move on. But the whole time during the questioning, didn't really seem like more of like a fishing expedition for them to try to get me to say something, because all the dates I was telling them where I was, things like that. I'm like,
wait a second, hold on. What day did they pull him over? What day did they do the search warrant on Luke Daly in Arizona? February 13th. Okay. So nearly 2 weeks later. I honestly don't know if I could tell you where I was, like what I was doing 2 weeks ago. Could you? I don't think I could. I don't think I could tell you what I was doing. Could you? Like if they pulled me over and they would say, where were you 2 weeks ago? On, we'll just say February 1st, right? I would say, you're going to have to let me get my shit together before I can talk about that, because I have no clue. So he's like, yeah, this should be easy. I can tell you what I did 2 weeks ago. I told him where I was. I'd say your guess is as good as mine. I'd be like, fuck if I know. This is what I would say. Well, you're going to have to enlighten me where I was 2 weeks ago, or you're going to have to give me some time. He looks too pudgy to Porch guy. 1,000%. I don't think he's Porch guy. I mean, unless he ate really good in those 2 weeks. That's all I'm saying. I don't think he's Porch guy. But something is weird here. Yeah. He's crapping his truth. It's something. I've been wondering this for months. I'm surprised he wasn't asking to remove his jacket. Did they ever check his arms for the visible? Oh, yeah, of course, of course. Oh, thank you again. Hello. Thank you so much. Did any of the construction people around leave the day after? We know houses were being worked on. I'm not talking about the company, but a person in the company. That's a good question. And there was, from what I recall, I don't know about workers, but I know, wasn't there neighbors? Do you have that picture? Justin, what picture, Kelly? There were neighbors that left, I think, the day after, down the street. I've never seen a tattoo on his wrist, only a shadow on the glove. I don't believe, the picture, when people say it's a tattoo, I don't believe it is, in my opinion. A neighbor moved out, yes. Now, as far as construction or anything, not that I'm aware of. Yeah, Daphne and I, we did talk about that. We were live together. 3 guys rented an Airbnb, yes, and left. It was just down the street, really close by. I don't think it's a tattoo either, yeah. Oh, Hobo, I'm sorry, honey. I'm so sorry. Bless your heart. Oh, I've not seen this. Prayers for you, Hobo. I know she was in hospice. And she wasn't doing good. Sorry, honey. Look at this, guys. Have y'all seen this photo? Carlos and Daniel Maddox. Here you go, I'll make it bigger. Carlos is a little chubby there. Now, Daniel Maddox. Thank you again. Hello. Very kind. People come and go out of construction. It's normal for most. It really is. And think about this as well. People travel, right? They travel with construction a lot. Some people, they'll travel. They're just in a city for a little bit for, putting together a Walmart or whatever, wherever their company makes them work. But the thing about this case is, I in my opinion, this has to be someone closer to home. Don't you think? I mean, it could be a neighbor. I would think those people down the street would be amongst the first people law enforcement looked at. Oh, I'm sure. Who's the guy in the Nike shirt? Nike. That's Carlos. That's Carlos, the one that is suing. He's the first guy that they went to. But Luke here, we'll get to Carlos in a second.
Like, all you'd have to do is look at my phone and see my location. It was nowhere near anywhere. Or
see, I don't like the way he answers that either. It was nowhere. All you have to do is look at my phone. It was nowhere, anywhere. Again, I don't think Luke is Porch guy. But he's 2 miles away. And he's got a history. And there's debate on whether, his mom supposedly didn't know Nancy or anything. But then there's this saying, that she's allegedly seen her in a store one time or something and talked to her. Too bad we can't see their hands. Oh, I've got a picture of his hands. He's nervous because of his history. I mean, listen, I've done this for a long time, and I still get nervous at times, especially. It's very intimidating for you to just, especially if you're not used to being in front of a camera or whatever. So I get that, but there's some things there that, again, it's just weird to me, especially with the comment that we were just covering there.
Have any connection to this? But
I would not think for a second that they were pulling me over because of Nancy Guthrie. Especially if he didn't really, and he talks about it in here, especially if he didn't really know too much about the Nancy Guthrie case, right? If think about this, right? If your mom says, I don't think this guy is, probably into the news much. Just a feeling I get. And, his mom says, that's Savannah Guthrie's mom, Nancy Guthrie. They think she was kidnapped out of her home in the middle of the night, Luke. And you're like, oh, that's really sad. That's really, really sad. And then you just randomly get pulled over. I don't think you would have that on your mind. Oh, well, this must be about Nancy. Would you? Now, maybe if you're really into the case, maybe I wouldn't. I just wouldn't. If I were him, I would have thought, well, this is probably because of the case that I'm already going to court with. My rug charges. Or a traffic infraction. Yes, Kayla's partner, William, he went to jail for hitting people. And then the lady in the car accident, I'm keeping his name out there just in case. It's very odd. But please, if you disagree with me, I want to hear, like, give me some pushback. If you disagree, be the opposition. It only, in my opinion, makes it strong, like the case stronger of who we can push out more. So I want to hear it if you disagree with me, especially because it's just weird. But again, I don't think he's Porch guy. LD has a habit of not paying for his traffic. Oh my God, he's got so many. So I would think that would be why he thought he was being pulled over. He sure does. We've got all of that. What really stands out to that both Luke and Carlos apparently realized they were being followed. Now, here's the thing. I don't have a criminal history at all, but I've been pulled over for speeding several times. I got a lead foot, not as much as I used to, but I've been pulled over for speeding. And I've been speeding before and hit the brake, once you see the police officer, realize how fast you're going. And I'm like, damn, it got me, or whatever. But I've also been driving and speeding and not seen, the cop behind me. So, what made them notice, and did each of them react? So I think in their case, right, like you sometimes you notice if there's a cop behind you or beside of you or whatever, so you get a little nervous or whatever. And they were really watching him, like they were surveilling him. So, oh, thank you again. Hello. I hate chat. I don't think you are reading my text. I'm not letting anyone slide. I don't think you are reading my text, right? I'm not letting anyone slide. I gotcha. I don't think we can let anybody slide, right? Because we simply don't know. But yeah. Okay, we have one. I disagree. He was pulled over by like 5 FBI vehicles, so it would not seem like a typical traffic stop. And yes, I probably would immediately think of local high-profile kidnapping case. Even if you wasn't really following it. And how does he say that? Hold on.
This should be easy. Like, I have nothing to do with it.
Explain to me what happened on the night you were detained, where you were, you're with your car. How did that unfold in your eyes?
So I was driving home. I noticed 2 sheriff vehicles following me. They pulled me over at the Culvers right there. Asked me to get out of the car.
What?
2 sheriff vehicles following me.
Okay, so 2 sheriff vehicles were following him. Because that's why I went back and played it, because he said once the FBI got there. right? Again, when 2 sheriff vehicles followed me, and I just would not think, no matter what, if I had a zilch, zero, nada, anything to do with this, and I was pulled over by 2 sheriffs, and they probably pulled him over. They probably started out, they probably waited for him to do an infraction and pulled him over or something like that, or I don't know, maybe not. Him getting back there and thinking, before they even question him, oh, well, this is probably about Nancy Guthrie. Not a fucking chance. Because you are so far removed from that, right? Like, you got to remember, there had to be a reason why they're breaking his constitutional rights, his freedoms of questioning him, detaining him, going, search warrant through his vehicle, his home as well. Thank you so much, Miss Dolores. Appreciate you very, very much. Good to see you, Miss Dolores. Really appreciate you. I'd 100% think they thought I had rugs in my car because of my pending case, because I think of Nancy. It's human nature to associate something with ourselves first. Absolutely. Absolutely. What did I do? Shit. What did I do? Right? It wouldn't be for kidnapping a person. I'm just saying. Right? Luke has been pulled over, and this is another thing. Luke has been pulled over 1,000 times, not 1,000 times, but if I've shown his stuff here, a lot. I wouldn't think, after being pulled over that many times, especially with rugs and everything else, oh, well, this is about Nancy. This is about someone, dragging an 84-year-old woman out in the house in the middle of the night. It just wouldn't. You have to put in perspective, if you're brown skin Hispanic, you have to know what's going on locally with crimes, because who is going to get pulled over, the non-white person? Truth. I think that's more in Carlos's case than it is Luke. I think Luke is a very privileged person. I'd rather cry in a Range Rover than a 1982 Chevette, right? He's okay. Thank you, Diane. Appreciate you very much, my dear. Really appreciate you. A lot of contradictions to their stories. What bothers me about LD is that he says he didn't know anything about Nancy Guthrie when he frequently hung out around the house. Yes, so oddly, you'd think he'd say, yeah, I knew about her case because I knew of her, etc. Right. Oh, thank you again. Hello. I didn't mean towards the chat, LOL. No, I understand what you meant. I'm not good at texting. My words becomes a word salad. You're fine. I totally get it. Totally get it. Thank you so much. Really kind of you. I would think they had the wrong person, but I never get tickets. Well, one. Cops love me. I get it. Hello. You can type fast. Yes. Put this in perspective. If you're brown, okay, I already read that one. I'm not tripping about what just happened with Perez Hilton. I know it's off topic. I pray he's okay. That's the scariest thing. I am tripping. Sorry. I am tripping about what happened. I know. You can't unsee it. You can't unsee it. And that's real pain. Is that still picture? What is Luke? In that still picture? In what still picture? Did someone send me something? make sure nobody sent this to me. I don't know what you mean by that still picture, my dear. I'm sorry.
They pulled me over at the Culver's right there, asked me to get out of the car, didn't tell me what it was about. So they had me cuffed in the back of a cop car, detained. I was asking, like, what am I being detained for? And they wouldn't tell me anything. They just said that the detectives would be there to talk to me. And once I saw, like, FBI and all the other cars start pulling in, I'm like, oh, this is probably about the Guthrie case.
I just don't see it. I don't see it. I asked them what this is about. They said, you know, they would be with me in a minute. And after they were with me, you know, the FBI started showing up. I thought, this is about the Guthrie case. He says, the Guthrie case. Dolores, thank you for the floating heart. Appreciate you, my dear. Really appreciate you. TC, thank you so much for the happy poo. Appreciate you. Perhaps Mastermind called in the tip to take the heat off himself. I think, in my opinion, it was Kayla. Ransom is not common in U.S. compared to other countries. Not at all. Yeah. Even here, cops pull over Phoenix all the time, whether they're driving Range Rovers, BMWs, or beat-up junkies. Yeah, but again, there's a lot of people in Tucson. There's a reason they pulled over Luke, right? There had to be a reason. And I'm just saying, you know, Luke's more... I just wouldn't think it was about Nancy Guthrie, especially if I didn't know about the case. Allegedly, who would want to make an 84-year-old woman disappear? Have to deem dead to collect on her. You're absolutely right. Just looking at Carlos' photos again, he has the eyes and the large tattoo on the right arm, wrist, down the wrist. I hadn't forgotten about. Yeah, I don't really believe about the tattoo, though, on the thing. I don't know, though. It's just my opinion. Thank you again. Hello. You're very kind. Appreciate you. I do not believe notes are real. They don't make sense unless a person has multi-personality. It does seem like that. You're right. I think the notes are real. I think the two notes are real, in my opinion. But again, I don't think this guy, in my opinion, is the writer. He just doesn't seem like he's that in tune with whatever the hell.
I'm like, this should be easy. Like, I have nothing to do with this, so it should be not a big deal to clear my name and move on.
Now, I will say, generally, when people, especially after some dates, but they're generally angry. They're generally not scared afterwards. Like, if they've been wrongly convicted, they're generally, like, angry, right? Like, what the hell? Why did they get my name? How did you come up with my name? You better and tell me, right? He seems more nervous. Again, everyone's different.
But the whole time during the questioning,
statistically,
didn't really seem like more of like a fishing expedition for them to try to get me to say something, because all the dates I was telling them where I was, things like that. I'm like, all you'd have to do is look at my phone and see my location. It was nowhere near anywhere or have any connection to.
I was nowhere, not anywhere, or like no connection.
But still, it was tough, like being there. Like, I mean, I don't trust the FBI to the extent that I'm like thinking that there's pressure on this case. And
now, again, would you think about? He's like, I don't trust the FBI because there's pressure on this case. I agree with him. There is pressure on this case, but I wouldn't think that they were going to pin something down on me you gotta prove that in court, right? And not saying that people are not wrongly convicted, but in this case, because let's be real, there is privilege, and there's going to be more scrutiny in this case, in my opinion, because of who Savannah is. Why what seems real? I don't understand what you mean. Why what seems real? I don't know what you mean by that. Does anyone know what? Hello, you just type it in chat. Hello, it's okay. I don't know what you mean by that. Oakley, thank you so very much, my dear. Appreciate you. Love the intro song, Clutch Them Pearls. Thank you so much. It's called Holy in Hood. I have it under my video section. You can just listen to it if you want. Appreciate you very much. His mom did say the cops searched her house. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. MG, good to see you. Thank you for the gold coin, hon. Appreciate you very much. Really appreciate that. He never saw a judge, so it wasn't a probation violation. And he is defensive. Burner phone. Wow. What do you mean? When Luke got pulled over, he had burner phones. Yeah. The key detail is that Luke says police never told him why he was detained. Yet once again, the FBI arrived. He immediately concluded it was involved in the Nancy Guthrie case. He did. How did his mind land on that specifically? Very, very, very good question, Deb. Right? So, again, he says they're doing this fishing expedition, right? Like, where were you? What were you doing? All of this. He says he really didn't know about this case, right? So if they're fishing, they're not going to probably say Nancy's name while they're doing this interview. They're going to know just general questions, probably like, where were you between this hour and this hour on this day or morning or whatever, and ask him general questions so they can lock him into that story. They want to lock you into that story so you stick with it, right? And once they start asking you later on if they need to about Nancy, you can't change that initial thing, or that's going to look really, really suspicious. So again, I don't see how he went from, oh well, this is about Nancy, because he doesn't, from what I understand here, he doesn't specifically say, they're asking about Nancy to him. He's like, this must be about the Nancy case. So I don't think that they said it has anything to do with Nancy. He, I guess, he's saying he's gathering context from what I'm, he's gathering context. Well, this must be about the Nancy Guthrie case. Sent you an email on some breaking news. Is it about, Perez? If it's about Perez, yeah, we talked about it when we started today. Probably more than one person calls him in a tip, hoping they got the reward. Justin, wasn't the geofence that got Luke and Carlos at the area allegedly? Well, we don't know. We don't know. I mean, something. I mean, here's the thing, right? They did geofencing in this, and he says he's at home in bed, right? Or he's out of town at the time. Why? Again, why are they breaking down your door? Why are they taking your vehicle? His lawyer said that to him. He just repeated it. The fishing expedition. Maybe. Hello. You think the notes are real? I think the 2 notes are real. Yes, I do. I absolutely do. Yeah. I don't think okay, when I say they're real, I think that they came from the person, plural, who did this, but I think that they are more of a distraction, if you will. But I do think that they came from the individual or individuals that did this, in my opinion. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Oh, Kelsey Perez, he had a mental breakdown and went live and was seeing himself everywhere. He was a bloodbath. It is terrible. You cannot get it out of your head. Thank you for the air travel, Deb. Appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Really, really appreciate that, my dear. Very sweet of you. Thank you so much. Love you, darling. Yes, all planned out, in my opinion. I still think there's a connection with the car lot. I do. There very well could be. Hello. Thank you for the finger heart. Thank you for the 350 joules. Appreciate you as well. Yeah, that's what they're saying. A lot of pressure on Perez. Yeah, it is a lot.
I want to find the person. So like the whole time while I'm sitting in the back of the cop car, I'm like panicking, thinking that I'm going to be framed for this, or they're trying to pin this on me somehow.
Did they tell you what led them to you?
Hold on. I know we just listened to that, but I got to listen to something again.
Or have any connection to this. But still, it was tough, like being there. Like, I mean, I don't trust the FBI to the extent that I'm like thinking that there's pressure on this case and they want to find the person. So like the whole time while I'm sitting in the back of the cop car, I'm like panicking, thinking that I'm going to be framed for this, or they're trying to pin this on me somehow.
Did they tell you what led them to you? I mean, something made them believe they needed to talk to you about it.
Right.
What was that?
I asked them. They didn't tell me any information about that. And I have thought of any type of reason why they could have come after me. But there's nothing. And I think that's why they didn't tell me.
Were you in the area of the home at the time? Like the overnight? Would it have been something like, we've tracked this person near?
Well, I live near her house, but I mean, I didn't even know that until after the fact.
Okay. Right. And Brianna is saying right there, well, were you near the house that night? And he's like, well, I live near the house. Well, so does a lot of other people, right? So does a lot of other people. But you're still 2 miles from their house, very close, but it's not being in her yard at 2 o'clock in the morning. Now listen to what he says here.
Like, I barely just learned where her actual house was in relation to mine.
I just barely knew where her house was in connection to mine. Oh, it's definite distancing, which either way, he's probably going to distance himself in this. Love you, Summer Breeze. He said he thought he was getting pulled over because of Nancy, but doesn't know Nancy lives down the road. Correct. Yes. Very good point, Ratui. Exactly. Oh, I'm getting pulled over for the Nancy Guthrie case, even though, you know, I didn't know I lived close to her. But I'm probably getting pulled over for this. Does Luke have any mental health diagnosis along with his drug? I am just wondering for his baseline in paranoia. Good question, Phoenix. And I have a letter that his mother wrote the judge, and he's got, you know, substance abuse, just, you know, disorder. He's got, I forget what else she wrote in that letter. Does anyone remember what? He's adopted as well. Raffi, I do not know. I honestly don't. In this case, there's so much. There is, the family. The last person to see him is statistically about 96-97% of the time is the person who did it. But, they go to the family's house. They do forensics. They're searching their neighbors' yards, RVs, or campers. They're coming out with stuff. The one of the daughters and her husband is being very weird. They keep their car longer than anybody else's. Then you go to Luke, and he's already a felon, and he's saying some weird things and all that. And then you got Carlos over here, and here's the thing, right? None of them may have done anything. None of them may have done anything. But then there could also be a connection with these people in any type of variation, whether they're all connected or just a couple of them or none of them. It's crazy. Oh, thank you, Kimchi. The way Justin just bits out our receipts to the mental health question. I have a letter. This is why we can support you, Justin. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate you very much. You're kind. Let me find that.
So I didn't even know.
Had you ever met her?
No.
Did you know who she was?
I knew who she was because...
Okay, so he says he's never met Nancy, and he know who she was. Listen to this.
My mother was following the case, but in terms of other than that, I would just go off what my mother was telling me.
Again, to me, that's weird. It's just weird, right? Like, if I was talking to my mother in passing, if I didn't follow the news, and I was just Luke or someone like Luke, and, she was just kind of talking to me. Oh, there's a woman, the 84-year-old woman that got kidnapped. And then you get pulled over one day and they sit you in the back of the car. I'm not going to think it's for Nancy. I'm just not. Especially when you got other cases. He grew up in the hood because one of his classmates was on a live talking about Elle and another neighbor always being hood rats growing up there in that hood. Do you mean the hood or do you mean the hood? He was busted for doing rugs in a home allegedly close by there, which I've got all his in total records. So like Luke's brother, a lot of people were, blaming Luke's brother. His brother is nothing like Luke. Zilch. Like he's got it all together. He's got a beautiful family, young kid. That's not the hood, maybe that neighborhood. Yeah. Maybe Weezy just put hood because it's shorter, because you can only write so many letters. So you're saying if perps left body, then family or someone close to family wouldn't be prime suspects. No, not at all. I'm not saying that at all. No. Mm-mm. Nancy neighborhood with a guy named Clay. Yeah, we've went over Clay quite a bit. Thank you again. Hello. I think the notes are a distraction too, kind of like Porch Guy. Porch Guy is a distraction. Now, I disagree with the second part. I do think that the notes are kind of a distraction, but I don't think Porch Guy is a distraction, in my opinion. And I'll tell you why. I don't think anybody helped Porch Guy inside, maybe not outside, but inside the home that night. Why do I say that? Because we have Porch Guy on January 11th, nearly 3 weeks, at this home. Same guy. We have this guy on February 1st, abducting Nancy, right? Covering all of this up. I believe if they had any more person on camera, that they would show that person. It's better to put two faces out to the public than it is one. You have a double chance of getting a hit, that someone knows at least one of them. So I think Porch Guy, in my opinion, did this alone as far as going inside the house. He was alone allegedly on the 11th. The way that Pima County writes this, he was doing more or less reconnaissance on Nancy, and he was there the 11th. He was there the night she went missing, both seemingly by himself. And I feel like if there was more than one suspect at the house and they had the photo or video, they would show that. But that's just my opinion. Does that make sense? Thank you, Share Cares. Appreciate you very much. And thank you again. Hello. Appreciate you very much, hon. Could you imagine going to court and telling the judge, I have a note from my mom? Shake my head. Well, I don't know if it's like that. I think sometimes, you write a judge for character purposes, that, I'm not making an excuse for him, but I need him. I'm elderly, you try to get the judge to reconsider. Absolutely. I wonder if the first visit into the Porch Guy was a test run. Well, he doesn't have a backpack to make sure it wouldn't pop up on Nancy Guthrie's phone. Possible. Thank you, Phantom. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I thought Porch Guy was also at Nancy's house the night before. That's what I heard. Have not heard that. I mean, do you mean like before midnight? Is that what you mean? She had to go to stay at the landlord's house the next day due to meeting. Yeah. That's not true, Joe.
And so how long were you detained for?
You're talking about what?
Probably maybe 4 or 5 hours.
In the back of that car the whole time?
Are you talking about?
And they searched your
Perez?
Range Rover extensively?
Yeah, they searched Range Rover. They towed my Range Rover. Did all DNA testing or whatever, and then gave it back to me. Took my cell phone. I've had no way to get a hold of anyone. Which is probably
Wait a second. What did he say?
Your Range Rover extensively?
Yeah, they searched Range Rover. They towed my Range Rover. Did all DNA testing or whatever.
There we go. I just realized he said this. They did all DNA testing or whatever. Now, he might mean forensics pertaining to his Range Rover, you know, like forensic testing. Of course, there's DNA involved, but it makes me wonder, did they do a buccal swab for him? Cheek swab that night as well. It is, Matt. It is very wild. Donna, thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you. Thank you for the clutch gift. Really appreciate that, hun. Yeah, I think they're still up on X, Don. Yeah, you caught it too. DNA testing on his Range Rover. Exactly. The Guthrie did use key in their written statements. Is that what they are pointing at outside the porch, right? The Guthries did use key in the written statement. Is that what they were pointing outside the right porch? I don't understand. Where Miss Guthrie keys found at the house. Nothing was taken. Nothing was taken, if that's what you mean. If the family only lives a few miles away, why did they have to take an Uber with mobility issues? So I think they live about, I want to say 8 or 10 minutes away, a few miles. It's not very far. Again, I don't know. I wouldn't make my mother pay, when something like, but maybe, I think one of Tommaso was out at the time. And that's why, perhaps. Wouldn't his DNA already be in the system? Yes. Yes, it would. He is a felon. There should already have DNA. Yes. But you got to remember, they also did, which I can show you. I've shown you guys here already, but I have a warrant of them doing another buccal swab, cheek swab for DNA for Luke in May of this year. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, well, if you have a warrant, you can't refuse with that. They'll take it one way or another. Thank you, very kind of you. Hello. Very sweet, my friend. FYI, I tried several minutes to post that last post. I had to change Porch guy to Porch. That's fine. To get it to take my money, or I was timed up. No, YouTube will not allow some certain words in a super chat, so sometimes you have to get creative. I don't think I said anything wrong, but it's your channel. No hard. No. You didn't say anything wrong. I've super chatted many times where it won't go through, and it's because something that is in it's just something that YouTube thinks you're saying wrong or offensive, maybe. It's nothing to do with me or my mods or anything, so I apologize for that. But yeah, it's frustrating, trust me. Thank you for that, my dear. Hey, Brittany, good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Phantom, thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate you very, very much. Very kind of you. Good to see you, my friend. 9 sites, yes, and the FBI and collaborating local investigators confirmed that there were signs of forced entry at the Tucson, Arizona home of Nancy Guthrie. yeah, I mean, what is considered forced entry, right? I mean, things were broken, things were taken, doors were allegedly open, right? Yeah, it's YouTube censorship. Like, if I say DEAD too many times, like, you'll get limited monetization on your ads. Advertisers don't want to pay for that. So I have to spell it out. Or I have to say unalived. I can't say. I guess, no, you're fine. You're fine. I just didn't want you to think it was me or my mods. I just didn't want you to think it was me or my mods. That's all. It's YouTube. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, you don't want to watch it. You don't want to watch that at all.
And then gave it back to
something
me.
Here.
Took my cell phone. I've had no way to get a hold of anyone, which is probably a good thing because everyone's looking at me like I'm this person that I'm not. So it's been rough.
You got your car back
Yes.
in rough condition, or was it okay?
Well, when I went to pick it up, like it wouldn't start. They, I guess they drained the battery down, and it was just covered in the whatever white substance that they use for testing. But yeah, then I got it started up, and it wasn't. Luckily, it wasn't damaged in terms of like repairs or anything. But
So when they released you, what did they say? They say you're free? Did they say never mind? I mean, what was the verbiage there from them?
They had just told me that they were still at my house, so I couldn't go home. But they drove me somewhere near the house and just dropped.
Hold on, what do you say?
Well, when I went to pick it up, like it wouldn't start. They, I guess they drained the battery down. It wasn't. Luckily, it wasn't damaged in terms of like repairs or anything. But
So when they released you, what did they say? They say you're free? Did they say never mind? I mean, what was the verbiage there from them?
No.
Don't
believe.
They had just told me that they were still at my house, so I couldn't go home. But they drove me somewhere near the house and just dropped me off. I was like, well, I don't have a phone. How am I supposed to figure out when I'm supposed to?
I got kicked off YouTube a day for showing the FBI video of this guy for the GUN and policy. And I appealed it, and they said, sorry. I'm like, it's an FBI video. They have it on their channel. Everyone else has been showing it. Oh.
So when I can go back to the house, they basically said, you're just going to have to figure that out. So, I mean, I waited just where they dropped me off at for maybe an hour or so. I had a friend that lived near the area, and I walked over there.
Did you miss out on the curse jar?
So I was just waiting.
The curse jar.
Like basically just on their patio. And then it got to the point where I'm like, well, they should be done by now. I walked back to my house, and this was like the worst part for me is getting there and seeing the house torn up.
I'm like, I've shown it 1,000 times.
The worst part was my mom not being there, and her being elderly and having AFib and things like that. I'm thinking the worst. Like I see her cars here, but she's not there.
Oh my God. That's the way YouTube works though. Like, meanwhile, I have videos of me making boom boom and booming or booming shit up from 20 years ago that's still posted, huh? It is, Astro. It is. It is. And remember, Z said Matthew was driving. Here's the thing. Did he say that though? Did he say that? Because Matthew, I don't think was driving. I just don't get why Luke would talk to media. Too much risk for his current charges. You're right. You're right. Even his current charges, it's never good to talk. But sometimes people feel like they need to steer it one way or another. You know what I mean? What's that, Summer? You saw the video? Yes, in prior interview on other channel. He did another interview? Luke? Luke did another interview? Where? Yeah, you don't want to see it. Not the Perez. There's several. I mean, there's several different. Like one time he's laying on the couch, another time he's standing up, and it's just really bad. Hey, Stitching, good to see you, my friend. How you doing? Good to see you. Oh, Zach. I don't know what I'm thinking. I was thinking Luke. Okay, sorry. Gotcha.
My phone to get a hold of her. So I'm wondering what happened, if I need to start calling hospitals or what the deal was. But luckily, I guess she went to one of the neighbors, but I didn't find that out until the next day.
Right. You were detained and released, but you've said it. Your face, your name, it's everywhere online. People still believe you were either involved or did this.
Yep.
What's that been like for you to have
Crazy.
your name, your picture, even a past mugshot all over the internet associated with this case?
I mean, for me, it's terrible. It's hard to go anywhere, and the hard part is they're making all these assumptions based on things that have absolutely no relevance, and they're just bringing up my past, which I haven't. I mean, I do have a past, but nothing violent, anything like that. All my past has just been involved with using drugs, and I haven't been in that life for over 2 years now.
It ain't been 2 years. Justin, do you think there will be a break soon in the Summer Wells case? Well, I'm really working hard on it. And a lot of people are, and the FBI is certainly working hard on it. And hopefully, I think the interview, Brianna has doubts about him too in this interview. No one said white powder to test. No one said white powder to test forensically. Is it possible his vehicle was used? Who knows? Don, very good question. I've wondered that myself. My air conditioner is freezing me. Sorry, I need to turn this off. I never freeze. I wondered, did he loan his vehicle out? I also wondered, did he have a rental car between that week as well? I mean, he paid cash for his Range Rover. He paid through a cashier's check, i.e. cash. You got to take it out of your bank account. They write you a cashier check. It's weird to me. He just said he hasn't been involved in. He's got a court date pending it for pews and rugs. Yes. Yeah. Who was driving the Range Rover before he bought it? It was at a car lot. I want to know whether officers tried to contact him before he returned to the property. What do you mean? I want to know whether, like, after he was let go and he returned to the property, like between that time. We want to see what? We want to see baby kisses. It's bad. It's bad. I feel so bad for him.
So all the things that they're bringing up, I guess it's public record, but it never would have came out if it wasn't for all these people speculating and doing things like that. So now people that had no idea about my past, so I've done like a good job of working past it and not having anything to do with it. So them doing that now is kind of just reopening this whole speculation and make me out to look like this bad.
He really tried to put a distance between himself and Kayla. In my opinion, Kayla was the one that told she got picked up the day before. My point is that since on Carlos' search warrant, it says medications and medical equipment. My point is, since on Carlos' search warrant, where they went missing, where they're missing meds, etc. What do you mean? Giggle. I don't understand what you mean. Have you seen the Carlos search warrant? Because they were sealed, from what I understand. I would like to hear the mother's independent account of what happened that day, too. Okay. It's probably cooked down outside, Justin. I notice if it cools down. Yeah. Yeah. I know, and that's what, you know, once it's on the internet, it's on the internet forever. Forever. I feel so, Perez has 3 amazing kids. Like, they're really good kids. Hold on, Justin. Is the Range Rover was at the dealership, but Z in the United States for a long time? Z says he was not in the United States for a long time. There were rugs in the SUV, allegedly. I don't know. I mean, if this is the thing, if there was rugs in the SUV, I'd be thinking, oh shit, I don't want them to search my vehicle. Was Luke given a written property receipt listing everything that they removed? They generally give you that. It's got like an inventory sheet. They're supposed to, like any electronics, they give you like the serial number, description of what it is. I know people are curious and then they see it and then they're like, I wish I didn't see it. Just finding it interesting that they would collect his DNA when they should already have his DNA. Then they wouldn't do a warrant for DNA. Just to cover their bases. Well, they did one in May for sure. And I almost guarantee you they did a buccal swab on him the day that they did the warrant. Oh, crazy. He had a mental health emergency and he had a knife splashing everywhere. It's a blood bath while he was live. But Carlos gave the search warrant to another creator and she read it. She showed it. She helped him get him an attorney. And Giggle, can you send me the creator? Because it'll depend who it is. Because from what Brian Enton and all of them was just saying, that it's been sealed, and that's what Carlos is technically suing over right now. Is they didn't even give him a search warrant, so I'm a little bit hesitant to say that. Justin question, thank you, Deb, appreciate you. Search warrants generally have defined categories of evidence. What did the warrant authorize investigators to seek? Don't know. Right. Well, in the search warrant, right, they need to have the probable cause, what is leading them there, why they believe that it is whatever they are looking for, whether that's a phone, a computer, a pew, whatever, why they generally, even sometimes it'll be like, a whole house warrant and stuff, but they usually got to say even what room they think that the pew is in or the computer is in. It's very, very specific. So, I don't know. What did the warrant authorize investigators to seek? He did. See, that's the thing. Mary, his mother, talks a little bit about it, which I can play if you want me to. Yes, boycott. Yes. I don't know if they didn't say what they took. There was a guy, a publicist, his name Jonathan Jackson. He was having a meltdown on Twitter trying to unalive himself. I was, oh gosh. Yeah, from what everything that I know, they were both sealed, and that's kind of the point, one of the reasons why they're suing, right? Oakley, thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate you very, very much. I watched part of other creators' interview with Carlos and the search warrant. Yeah, if you want to send it to me, mods, you can drop my thing. Oh my gosh, hello. Very generous of you. Thank you so very much. I am antisocial. No way will you get me on the news. They tried to work, and I looked like hump. If it involved my child, the cops couldn't hold me back. Gotcha. I see what you're saying. I would be awkward, but I'll take the hate to get my baby back, and she is 15. Right. Exactly. That's the thing, right? Like, people either are okay with the camera or not okay with the camera. And like, like if you're at a grocery store and someone fell at the grocery store and the news comes there is doing a story and you witnessed it, right? You might say, I don't really want to get in front of the camera for that. Yeah, I'm not really, But then if your kid goes missing, right, you still might be antisocial, as you say, but the instinct takes over, and at that time all bets are off. You don't care. You don't really care at that point, because the social is out the window, right? The antisocial is out the window at that point, because this instinct takes over. You've got to find your kid, and you got to do whatever it takes for that. So you're absolutely right. Hello. 1000%. Very generous of you. Appreciate that. You've been extremely generous. I appreciate you, honey. Thank you for all your support. Was it that the time frame they flew the plane to ping with the heart monitor app or something, but we didn't know they flew around until later? You mean when they're doing this with Luke? I'm trying to remember. They were just kind of experimenting to see if they could get like a ping or something like that. I don't know. Sent 3 X's. I'm up ridiculous hours, but I agree. I wouldn't want anyone delivering at 4 a.m. Luke has a college degree. Luke, he's very fortunate to have really good adopted parents, right?
Person, which I'm not.
And it's not just been you. People have found, records of an alleged girlfriend of yours. There's been a lot of rumors swirling around. What do you want to say about those rumors, about you, about her, about, everybody that people have looked at and said, well, they could do this?
Yeah, first of all, that's not my girlfriend. I barely knew that girl, and I was arrested with her on a completely different...
Why does he say that? Like, I barely knew her. Y'all were doing like blow out of the Walmart parking lot, and
circumstance over a year ago. I haven't talked to her since.
Oh, look.
And I guess they're just going off of the arrest, saying that I was arrested with her. So, but I hardly know her and don't associate with her.
Oh.
But in terms of everything else, I mean, all the speculation is just going off of
Lana.
I don't even know if people really believe it, but online it just seems like they're pushing this narrative and trying to make connections with things that are.
I'll talk to Lana about that.
I don't know, basically like circumstantial.
I'll watch that.
Like saying my eyelashes match the guy in the ski mask.
Listen, I don't think his eyelashes match the guy.
Last picture, which I'm sure like if you could use anyone's picture and find similarities.
I don't think his eyelashes match the guy. Okay, let me show you Mary. Right here. Now, Mary, there's something about Mary. Just kidding. I think Mary is a sweet, kind woman. I think her son has manipulated her. He looks like he's got a lot of clothes on. Yeah, but he does. But so does this guy. You know what I mean? They just don't have the same body build. You were Nancy
Guthrie's neighbor. Pretty close by.
I didn't realize that.
You didn't know that?
No.
So did you not know
I knew it after everything happened.
Okay. I got some questions here. She says, oh, I didn't know I was, Nene's neighbor, right? Okay. Mary's an odd bird. I think it's just her personality trait, in my opinion. But this makes me wonder, okay, because you just heard Luke say a second ago, my mom was telling me about this case, right? My mom was, keeping me up to date on this. Well, if Mary was following this case, right? I think she would know, certainly 2 weeks into Nancy going missing, because it's, living 2 miles away, that she would know Nancy lived pretty close to her. Right? Am I right? Because Luke says, no, she's keeping me, she told me about Nancy going missing. Mary just says right here, I didn't know she lived close to me, but she's the one following the case. I do not like, because in this interview, Luke is literally sitting right beside of her, and Brianna is sitting across from a desk. There's a desk in between. Brianna on one side, a desk, Mary, Luke in a chair. I'll find them and send them to Justin. Okay. He could have trimmed his eyebrows by the time he got... Well, yeah, he could have trimmed his eyebrows, but he can't trim his lips that quick. You know what I mean? And he's just bigger than Porch guy. We're not seeing him at the same angle. Right.
But otherwise, who'd heard of her?
You hadn't heard her?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So you hear that she is abducted. She goes missing. And I assume your first thought when you hear this is, oh my gosh, this is crazy and it's nearby. Were you following the story, following the case?
Totally. At that point, to see.
Totally at that point. I got some questions too. She would have seen all the media, whatever they showed up, and Fox started with the drone footage day 2. she would have known where they were flying over her house. Yes. Luke would be such a hard kid to raise, let alone. Yes. Yes. I think so, but he's sitting down. They're all sitting down.
If they could ever find her.
He actually, you could hear him in this.
And, Savannah grew up in Arizona and, her family. And we watched.
Now, listen to this. And again, Savannah grew up in Arizona. She knows that. She knows Savannah grew up in Arizona. But you didn't know Nancy lived 2 miles from you? Until afterward, but you were keeping Luke up to date on that. The body build does not match, and that's far more noticeable than somebody claiming the eyelashes, yeah. Yeah. What was he? He was a psychiatrist, wasn't he?
Her on TV, so it's sort of like, she comes into our living room and tells us what's going on. So it's, it's very emotional for me. I mean, I'm old and I'm not used to this kind of stuff at all. But I have a lot of empathy and pray. I don't have a lot of hope but that the family continues on and it's huge loss for all of us.
Oh, thank you again. Hello. Very kind of you, honey. Just a reminder, some of us have watched our loved ones pass more than one trigger one. Yes. Yeah. It's terrible. Appreciate that. You're absolutely right. Yeah. I thought she was a counselor as well. Yeah, she's a psychotherapist. I've got all the paperwork. I can pull it up.
Oh, it completely affects the community, a community you're part of. So when you first start hearing about it, I imagine there's a lot of upset and fear, concern.
Yes. And they were searching, I live on this street, and then they were searching a street a little closer and a little farther out, and, it's just weird to have these people and people standing in front of my house wanting to talk, mostly news people wanting to.
Yeah, I mean, the media don't.
I didn't talk to.
That's a very good word, aloof. Yes, that's the word I think can really describe her, aloof. In my opinion, Mary seems to act aloof and clueless 1 second, but she's well-educated psychologist, right? Something is off to me. I don't know. The thing about Mary is I think they're very good providers for their kids. And I think she's very educated. Family's educated. They're well off, it seems. But she's definitely not a criminal mind. That is for sure, in my opinion. But again, I can show you the note where she wrote the judge. And she was giving all kinds of excuses, which I understand. It's your son. Why, to go easy on Luke, that she needed him home and all of that. Mary probably knows how to get in people's head to seem very believable. I'm not believing a lot of it. Again, I don't think... I think Luke can really manipulate. You think a psychologist can manipulate you? Try an addict. They know how to manipulate. Right? Oh yeah, we talked about it. It's bad. Okay, yep, I got it. Yep, thank you so much,
For those
dear.
people at all. We just,
So tell me what happened when this all ends up at your home. Your home ends up becoming part of this
I'll show
story.
it to you next.
yeah, well, people were coming to the door and I wasn't necessarily answering it. They might not have even had a camera or anything. And then this one, late afternoon when they came in the big SWAT vehicles, pulled into my driveway and said they wanted to, see anything that could link anything. I said, well, yeah, go ahead. I mean, so they were there for about 6 hours.
Listen.
And I was in the SWAT vehicle and they went through my house and went through everything and tore everything, broke if the door was locked, they would break it open to go see what was in there. There really wasn't anything in there, but it was pretty upsetting.
Well, and it's one thing to come to you and say, do you have any video or anything like that? It's another to detain you and search your house with a search warrant. Did they tell you why?
I guess I assumed, because I live close by or something, but I just said I'd do anything if we could find some clues that might help, but I don't think there's going to be anything in here, but go ahead and look. I mean, I didn't say you can't look. I didn't even think. It was kind of, late in the day. I'm so sorry.
Listen, that answer is just not satisfying for me. Now, listen. Oh, sure, go through my house if it will help you find Nancy. If my range will help you find Nancy, take the range. Take the refrigerator. If it will help you find Nancy, take it. What the fuck does that mean? Pardon my El Frencho, but what does that mean? Exactly. I would be like, okay, officer, you're coming in my house, and what in my home could help you find Nancy? Asking for a friend. Well, you don't have a choice. It is a search warrant. Exactly. There is no choices, right? No choices for sure. So that does not make sense. You started to say they found, but then changed it to. This is the other thing that you're going to see weird in this. I think Brianna, maybe you've already said it. I had to go fix my air conditioner. Did she say, what did they take? Because she doesn't really say. She says, like, I don't know. Again, aloof. Interesting, she got a text and answered it. Mm-hmm. Who does that? Her lawyer probably texted her. Another 10 years, he will figure it out. He's seeking justice. Dealing with this and 2 families passed from overdose. I just joined and I hear you say addicts manipulate. Not all do. And when you have relatives dealing with this and 2 family members pass from overdose, please be careful with this topic. Oh, listen, I will be clean 13 years in September 23rd. I know. I'm sorry for your loss, Peace. But I manipulated the fuck out of my doctor. Trust me. Yeah. Listen, you cannot be an addict and not be manipulative at some point. It's just not the way it works. Just not the way it works. Doesn't make him. It's not that you're bad for manipulating or anything. It's you're addicted. It's not you. It's just your brain. Is all it is. It just is what it is. I've been sober 26 years. I definitely know about addiction. Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah.
I'll turn that off. I get a lot of phone calls now, a lot of messages from people. How are you doing, Mary? So, and then I just decided I was much better off going to Phoenix to be with Matt and the grandkids and his.
Yes. You learn to say or do whatever it takes. And, not that my addiction was any less than anyone else's. I was addicted for 6 months because I had surgery, and I knew my doctor as well. He overprescribed me, but because I knew what to say. It's that simple. My heart goes out to anybody that's ever struggled. I don't want to see anybody with Perez this evening. You just cannot unsee that. He is in some real trouble, and I hope whatever he is dealing with, he gets fixed for him and his kids and all that. Thank you for the Unk Cat. Appreciate you, my dear. Thank you so much. My love. Good to see you. I was addicted to opiates for 17 and yes, started with prescription meds. It a lot of times does. Yes. Yeah.
Wife and everything.
So when they detained you, did you know that this was
Mommy's little
related
helpers.
to also them investigating Luke?
No.
You had no idea?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't thinking this was about Luke. I found out it was also about Luke, but initially, no, I was thinking it was all about Nancy Guthrie and finding her and whatnot. So, because I was thinking, I don't even think Luke probably ever watched the news and even saw Savannah on the news. I mean, I did.
Right.
Hold on, listen.
I found out it was also about Luke, but initially, no, I was thinking it was all about Nancy Guthrie and finding her and whatnot. So, because I was thinking, I don't even think Luke probably ever watched the news and even saw Savannah on the news. I mean,
Luke and never even saw Savannah on the news. Sent me a clip of a live praying for everyone that's seen it. Yeah. It's so bad. That's why I won't go to a pain specialist. I don't want what they prescribe. Yeah. Well. Tell me, he did not Google it on a device. Tell me he did not Google it on a device. Well, that's a good point, right? Did Luke ever... So that's a very good point. Think about this. If Luke said he had no idea about the Nancy Guthrie case, right? And he locked himself in by saying that. But his phone has been obsessive with Nancy Guthrie case for the last 2 weeks following it. That's not going to look good for him, right? I know about it because my sister who passed away from cancer and my brother. Oh, sorry. I hate cancer. Hate cancer. Sorry, my sister passed from strange cancer.
I did.
Right. So when did you learn that, your detainment was related to Luke's detainment in this case?
When I'm not exactly sure when, because honestly, during this time, I was really emotional, and there were lots of information coming in, and so I don't remember exactly the time, but I know that in retrospect, I know all this stuff that it did, but initially I didn't think of it being Luke as part of this because I knew it wasn't something that Luke would be involved in in any way, and he wasn't. So,
Yeah.
And when you learned that, was there any thought that was...
Yeah, you're not when addicts are being manipulative to you, you're not dealing with them, you're dealing with the addiction. The addiction is what manipulates, right? And here's the thing. When addicts are manipulating, they don't want to manipulate you. It's not that they don't want to do this. It is just their addiction that is manipulating you. They don't want to. They know it's wrong and all of that, but they also don't want to be sick. They also, it's just addiction, and it's the one thing that will unalive you. If you're
Could
sad.
he have been involved?
No, I didn't think he ever could have been involved. Not at all. No.
So you and Luke were not involved in anything in this case.
Right, except seeing it on TV and acting and some of the consequences of, we want to search this. And I'm like, okay, if it helps find, because this was early on, we thought differently about.
Did they take anything specific from your home?
Did they take anything?
Well, but here's the thing. If you're in pain, talk to your doctor, and pain medicine is for people in pain. That's what it's for, right? But sometimes we are treating, mental pain or physical pain, and mental pain will cause you to physically hurt too. I think I know that. I'm trying to think. Let me check on that. Let me look at this. Let me show you this. Okay, this was property claimed by Mary Chapin Daly. There's a VIN number. The Mazda. Yes. Didn't he have like lights? Didn't he have like police lights or something kind of on it? Let me read this. I'll make it big for you guys so y'all can see. Oh, sorry, I was muted. Luke didn't say he was being updated. He said his mom was following the case. Yeah, he said his mom told him about the case. But again, why would you think that you were being pulled over for Nancy Guthrie if you wasn't really following, it that much? I purchased this car from a private party 3 years ago for $7,500. I also spent approximately $1,800 for the transmission, repairing things. I have paid a Progressive insurance this car during my ownership. The title is this car is my son Luke Daly's name. He was the driver of the car, but not the owner. The information is provided by Mary Chapin Daly based upon the information, and I don't know if it says brief or belief, the time of the filing. I assert that my property was forfeited and that I am an innocent owner. Based upon the foregoing, Mary Chapin Daly respectfully requests that the court exempt from forfeit and I property claim by Mary Chapin Daly. So, the property, so they seized the car by is it Miranda PD? And I think it says Pima County Attorney's Office. So they lived at the same place in 2023, for sure. Crispy, thank you so much for the 100, and thank you for the 100, my friend. Love you too, baby kisses. The police took something from you. Remember if the police took something from your home. Yeah, exactly. You certainly do. Yeah, Mary seems very off. To me, her eyes are very glossy and pinned as well. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, do what is best for you. Such a great enabler. She needs... I don't know. It's... Oh, let me show you that before I pop this back up. Let me show you this as well. God, so many of you guys emailed me about Res. Let me show you this. I thought I had it. Damn. Maybe I don't. All right, I'll pull it up here in a little bit. Thank you. Hello. My message is to my daughter. My step sister passed at 39. Oh my God, that's so young. The breast cancer spread to her bones and eventually her brain. That's, yeah, spread fast. I go yearly now. Yes. Mammograms. You've got to. My father-in-law died from lung cancer a few years ago. Healthiest guy I knew. Never smoked a day in his life. Exercised every day. Was a principal. Golfed every day. Thank you, Claire. Appreciate you. And thank you for that. Hello. I'm very sorry for you losing. Hey, Kiki. I wish I could change it. Yeah. Do genetic testing as well. Especially.
I can't think of anything they took.
Yeah.
You know, I can't think of anything.
Awesome.
And did they
I
eventually?
might think of something later. I
That's
hate to
fine.
say it, but
Yeah.
you know.
Did they eventually tell you that they were searching your home in relation to this case, or did you this whole time think they're just looking to see if I have any
Listen to
surveillance
this.
video or anything like that? Like, where did that shift happen?
They didn't give me a lot of information, but I just assumed, you know, and I said, well, if it's like I said, if it's something that might help us find her, then go for it if you think there's anything in here, but I don't think.
I just don't feel like she's being authentic here. Like I said, if there's anything you think that can be in here, if it'll help find Nancy. I wish Luke was not beside of her right
I
there.
think there is. So, yeah.
Did you ever suspect that Luke might know who was involved?
No.
Not at all.
No. Mm-mm.
So you guys were basically both detained for hours. You were questioned. Your property gone through, and then released, but with not a lot of explanation as to why.
It'll be fine.
Well, I guess
God, you're getting it.
they
done.
just said they could do, you know, I didn't want to stop if it might be helpful, but I had no idea when. I thought they'd maybe come in and look around for an hour or something.
Well, you
poke
can't make
around
it stop either way.
You know, but yeah.
So you have not been back at your home since staying there. since this?
I just got back.
What's that like?
It's really good to be back here.
She's like
I was up in Phoenix with my kids and grandkids, which is wonderful. But,
she was in
we built
Phoenix.
our home and lived there a long time. And Matt's grown up in it. Luke's grown up in it. They're, so it's home. So I love being there. I'm glad to be back, and it's nice to know that Luke's there and
colon cancer.
I mean,
that checked.
in the days.
Yes, get that checked as well. Get colon cancer. You can get checked from that. You can do home kits that'll help as well. And get your prostate checked as well.
Since you guys were detained,
Thank you.
It's not been an easy road for any of you. Luke especially. I mean, people still believe he is the person on the video camera. They still believe he's the person who abducted Nancy Guthrie. His face is out there. His name, your name, has been out there. How, as a family, have you emotionally dealt with that, even though you've been released?
Well, things.
Yes. She met Nancy at a grocery store watch today, but didn't know Nancy lived around the corner. Right. When it's all over international news, their neighborhood. Well, she said we watched Savannah on the news and knew she was from Tucson as well. Right. That's good, Quincy. Justin, did you hear this also? Hear what, baby? If he's not the porch guy, then he's the driver, in my opinion. I don't think he's the porch guy, but I think there's something weird. She said she watched the show. How did she not know she lived in Arizona? She said she did knew that Savannah and them were from Arizona. She said we watch Savannah. Of course, we watch Savannah on the news. Yeah. Right, Sue. Thank you, Alicia, for renewing your membership, my dear. Appreciate you. Thank you, my love. Good to see you. Thank you, love. She watched Savannah, yet didn't know Nancy lived there. Right. She's like, I watched Savannah. We watched Savannah on the news. She's been following the Nancy Guthrie case, and she knew Savannah and I guess Nancy lived in Arizona or Tucson, but she didn't know how close she lived until after, I guess, she got the search warrant. Make it make sense. Thank you, Grimes. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for the Unk alert. Good to see ya. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
It'll just pop up and I'll just feel a lot more like even sitting here talking about it. It is very emotional. And part of me just wants to say goodbye to all this chapter. So hopefully this interview will help.
I mean, I understand like wanting to say, she's like, I want to, she didn't want her name out there, and I get that. And people suspecting her son. But you'd think it would be more about Nancy. I was diagnosed. Oh, God. Yes, Alicia. And it's melanoma is extremely, I've had 2 places taken off my back. I used to be a tanning bed goddess. And I have, you can probably see it, I have a spot right here I just mix it in with my bronzer, but I have a spot right here. I gotta go take a look at that as well. It's yes, you're gonna be fine though, babe. Daphne, my friend Daphne here, she had a spot taken off of her leg. It was, love you too, Geeky. Thank you so much, dear. Your skin is your biggest organ. Please wear sunscreen, guys. I bathe in it now. I don't care if I'm mowing grass, I'm just outside. Please.
Kind of have some closure for me and for everybody else who's felt the impact, because this has been huge impact, not just here. I mean, all the family from Rhode Island called right away and said, wow, look what's happening. I mean, I was like, my gosh, I don't really do
We're gonna be praying for you,
Instagram,
my
TikTok,
friend.
and all that stuff. I'm not the right demographic. I don't spend my time doing that.
I don't think so.
But Luke's on it. I mean, he is younger, and that is
Yeah,
part of him. And he's had to see his face out there.
That's
Yeah.
really a shame, I think. But that's
Yeah, depending on your skin tone, there's different, to get your daily vitamin D, like lighter skinned people, we don't need to be out in the sun as long, to get our, I think it's maybe 15 minutes. Darker skinned people, I think it's like upwards of 45 minutes. They can tolerate more because of the melanin, in their skin. So if you got light hair and light eyes, yeah.
I was shocked about all of that. That was an education for me in terms of a way of communicating and things people like to do, like younger people, not older people like me.
Yeah. What do you say to people who have also brought up Luke's past and kind of associated, oh, well, he's had a past with criminal activity, therefore this could be a part of this? What do you say to those people?
Well, I don't know. They don't really ask me that. My friends, I have a really good
That's what
group
they
of friends
say.
here in Tucson. And
Sorta.
they never really questioned me about that stuff. And if they thought
Thank you, Miss Tasha. Appreciate you. Thank you for the flower, my dear. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Go figure, they even took a cancer Australia sunscreen off the market. Really? Took a cancer like the Australia, what is it, brand? I'm sorry. I used to have a tanning bed at my house. Oh my God. I'm so
they thought
dumb.
it, they didn't,
So
come up
dumb.
and say, well, could he have done this? And they didn't, probably out of respect. Because they don't know, and I didn't know what all was going on sometimes, but I knew this wasn't, Luke's had other issues, but this is not the kind of thing that he had a problem with, and he's doing well now, and we're all kind of in the recovery mode, if you know what I mean, trying to get our lives back and get back to normal again and all that stuff.
For your family, it's been tough. For the Guthrie family, it's been tough. What is your thought process trying to relate to the Guthries themselves going through this, but in the most awful way, in that they've lost Nancy and there's still no answers?
Really, mostly I pray. Yeah.
And they've asked for prayers.
They've asked for prayers, and sometimes I can listen to Savannah's, she comes on and talks often. You guys all know that probably. And I've watched a little bit, but I can't watch too much because it just makes me want to cry. It's just so sad. And the longer it goes on, then the more hope is lost,
For you guys in this neighborhood, it's a very tight knit. It's a beautiful neighborhood. It's quiet. It's quaint. To have this kind of onslaught, the media spectacle, and then to become where you are, does that change your perception of how safe home feels?
A long time.
Well, I feel safe in my home now. I didn't for a while. That's why I went to Phoenix. I have wonderful neighbors that live right next door, and we're in this little cul-de-sac together. And that's where the SWAT team came up the cul-de-sac and stuff. But I mean, I stayed with them some of the time. A couple nights I stayed over at David and Margaret's house because I was uncomfortable, you know. So yeah, I just never thought in my life I would. I mean, who would imagine something like this? It was so much sadness, and I want to say global, but certainly our whole.
Ritui, can you send me that letter again? I don't know what I did with it, with that email. I even looked in my trash and I can't find it. Can you send me that letter on for the, never mind. I got it. I just found it. I'm going to show it here in a second. Thank you.
Country, but it goes farther than that, probably.
Oh, it really does.
I mean, the way media is today. I mean, I grew up in a different era, as you know.
Yes.
So
I'm going to show you. Luke did have a girlfriend with kids, and Mary talks about it in this letter.
It's amazing how things spread. So
what do you want to say to the Guthrie family, especially for you and your son, if there was any possibility they still believed you guys could be involved? What do you want to say to the Guthries?
Savannah, I am just very, very sad and sorry about Nancy. And I pray for you and your family that you heal, that you can go back to your normal place of life and resume and build with your family and your children and your husband. But I know it's going to be a challenge, but I'm going to keep praying. Mm-mm.
And you want them to know no involvement from you and Luke?
No involvement from Luke and I, no.
Okay, so I want to show you this letter that Miss Mary Mack, wrote to the Honorable Judge Bell. Honorable. Mohawk, they waited until Luke left and pulled over and it's more safe that way. They like to get people while they're out if they can. In 2020, yep. It has been 1 year. It has been 1 year since we wrote you on behalf of our son, Luke Daly. Here is an update on our life since that time. December 26, 2018, Luke's dad went into home hospice with caring for him 24/7. Luke, Matthew, that's his brother, and Bridget, I guess that's his sister, and I were all with him until God came for him on April 12th, 2018. It was a tragic loss for all of us. Luke took the night shift, and we all shared the days. John was an amazing father, husband, and Catholic priest and psychologist to many. Excuse me. Luke has had the hardest time accepting this loss. He continued to work for our company, paid his probation fines, see his parole officer, but he wasn't doing the drug drops. I now realize he began self-medicating and avoiding his feeling. He never seemed impaired. He was numbing himself from the loss. We've all been very sad and grieving. Coping is hard. He was staying more with his girlfriend and being a dad to her 2 sons. He isn't their biological father, but is the only dad that they've ever known, and he is a caring one. His relationship with Amanda began to fall apart after John died, which was another huge loss for him after 8 years together. They were together 8 years? That's a minute. On August 1st, 2018, He was at the courthouse for his revocation of probation hearing with you. Attorney Russell Hughes was representing him, and I was on a plane to Rhode Island to visit my husband's family. Mr. Hughes assured us that I didn't need to be there, as he was going to be asking for an extension to show that most of the charges his parole officer noted were incorrect. We had given him documentation to show you, but we didn't think he brought that to court. We had more info to gather. Mr. Hughes and his parole officer, Miss Gaslam, had talked before court, and when Luke arrived, he told Luke he was going to jail. I didn't understand why his attorney would make this decision when we'd been told otherwise. Well, how does the attorney know he's going to jail? I told him I would have canceled my trip. Luke was working, caring for my house and animal in my 10-day absence, and had not expected this outcome. He panicked and left without seeing you. So once the attorney said, Luke, you're going to jail today, he split. He split at that point. Okay. This was, pull this up a little bit bigger. This was beginning of a crazy time for Luke, which culminated in him causing an accident. We were all eternally grateful that the passengers were not seriously hurt. I had to stop contact with him until he turned himself in. He has been in jail since November 25th, 2018. Luke is a good man with a sensitive heart and a drug problem. He is not a criminal. He made some bad choices during... Okay. Lady, I understand, but when you commit a crime, you are a criminal. I mean, that's just it. I know he's your son and kumbaya, but he's still a criminal. He made some bad choices during this crazy time, and he needs to do the right thing now, take the consequences, and start his life all over again. A wiser, better, sober man. He is 29 and has a lot of life ahead of him to create a new beginning. As a 70-year-old widow, I love and need my son now more than ever. I have some health issues and require the help and love that he provides. His sons, 8 and 13, need his love and time. He tells me to accept that he will go to prison. That is very difficult for me. I pray he will be safe, close to Tucson, and be home with me again soon. I talk to him daily and visit weekly. Thank you for considering these circumstances as you make your decision regarding him and our future. Sincerely, Mary Chapin Daly, Mother. Thoughts? Aloof. Aloof. Justin, you called it. My girlfriend's daughter was married by a gay priest. Congratulations, baby kisses. Girl, sit down. Yeah, 8 years is a long time. Yeah. He didn't talk about, like, his kids here, though. Some Catholic priests marry, most don't. Yeah. He wasn't a priest. Look up and read his obit. You'll understand why she says this. Sounds like entitlement to me. How old is she now? And is she a foster parent now? No, I don't think she's she's not a foster parent now. This was 2023, I think. So she would be probably 73, 74 now. Something like that. So she would, yeah, something like that. Oops. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, actually, 100, yes, that's very common mindset in addiction. What? What's a very common mindset? Sounds like it, yeah. Okay, y'all. Well, we'll dig more into this tomorrow. Hopefully, I will be here earlier tomorrow. Justin Cherry said TMZ had a new email tonight. Ooh, let's look. Hold on. TMZ Nancy Guthrie. I don't see anything. TMZ.com. Ambulance seen leaving his home after alarming live stream.
Take you back to that breaking news that we brought to you at the top of our newscast. A person was being seen taken into an ambulance moments ago outside of a home in southwest Miami-Dade. The sheriff's office says that a man was inside the home live streaming acts of self-harm on social media. A couple of neighbors are telling us that the man inside the home is celebrity entertainment blogger Perez Hilton, but the sheriff's office has not confirmed that with us tonight. We will bring you any updates on this story as we learn them on air and online on our NBC6 digital platforms.
Okay. I don't see anything about Nancy. Well, why is it not letting me? It won't let me. When was this? August 2nd? When was this?
Lights on. I didn't understand you. Light.
Doesn't say. Wait till this is done. Does anyone know where that it is? It is confirmed he's in the hospital now, yeah. I know, it's so bad. Luke's father was a priest in the time before his relationship with Mary. He continued service in the same capacity. I do too. It's really sad.
Media has covered some of this, and we just saw what was being said and felt like we need to put something out that's really accurate. And this was the time we felt like.
Damn, come on. How long are these ads? Let me see if this is new. Savannah Guthrie responds to alleged Ransom-Note. 1 second here. Oh, where'd the damn video go? Let me see if anything, they put anything on Facebook. Rolling Stone. Okay, TMZ. No, they're just going crazy about Perez, TMZ. I don't see anything about Nancy. Anna Kepner case. Prosecutors hand over her Snapchat data to defense. Possible evidence against Bro. Was Luke a DoorDash or Amazon delivery driver? No. Did Carlos and Luke know each other? He was not a delivery driver. And there's nothing that we know that Carlos and Luke know each other. Mark goes out to Perez. I hope he gets the help that he needs. Oh, that video, man. It is fucked up. Like, you can tell he is either in a manic mental or a induced like psychosis or whatever, because he is just slicing himself, and it's not like ow, ow, ow. He's not feeling it. It was, I mean, it is so bad. It is so bad. Like, he is from head to toe. He's going to have scars on him, like, for the rest of his life that reminds him of that. Last thing on TMZ was Wall Street Journal for Nancy. I mean, he was just like, and he was like, in the video, he was like, oh yeah, it feels good. You know, just talking to the camera. He's just like, oh, it feels so good. Like, very manic. I don't know. Again, it could be he's off his medication. He's on something. It could be just he cracked. He's got a lot of pressure on him. He really does. There were people watching and calling police. It was insane. Yeah. A major cry for help. I don't even think he realized what he was. I don't even think it's a cry for help. I don't even think he knew. Like, I don't even think it was registering. I don't know. He was doing so good. Like, he, after his near-death experience, he had several surgeries. He had, like, the flu, and he took Tamiflu on, like, an empty stomach, and it caused his intestines to, it basically ate a hole, and his stuff in his intestines, his feces, leaked inside of his body, and it poisoned his whole body. And they had to do emergency surgery. He was very, very weak, probably 90 pounds. He looked dead then when he got out. He was just so weak he could barely talk. And he had this, he said, like, this holy experience inside the hospital. And he like made this amends. He made this apology to anybody he ever hurt. And then he had to have another surgery after that. And he was like doing so good. He was like singing Christian music. And people was like, wow, you know, and he started doing interviews talking about how he was like born again and all of that. He was reading the Bible, just all kinds of things. And then this happened. And I don't know. Someone said that he saw God when he was in the hospital, and he did it again because he wanted to see God again. Yeah, that's a little out there. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes, I've told this story before, but I grew up in a very, very Christian family. We weren't Pentecostal, but we like my family, like they wouldn't, one side of my family, like they're very vanilla. I'll just say, I always say if you like, but anyway, there was this woman that lived beside of me, and she was the funniest lady, but she had bipolar, and I was young and I feared God a lot. I was scared to death as a kid with religion, and she wasn't taking her medicine. And one time, like, she came outside and I was outside, it was a summer day, and she's like, Justin, the Lord's coming back, look at the ship up there and all that stuff. And I had no idea about really mental illness at that age. I was probably 11 or 12 years old, and scared the hell out of me. And they're so convincing when they're in this manic stage, right? Like, they see things that are not there, but they're very convincing. Yeah. Being held right. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I have 4 pastors in my family. I came out singing with a purse. It was fun for me growing up. Okay, guys, it's real to them. It really is. It really is. Okay, guys, I'm gonna call it a night. It's 1:19 in the morning, and I had a busy day today. We'll probably be talking about Nancy again tomorrow, but we're also might be doing a Summer Wells live stream tomorrow. If not, day after that, we'll see. Or if anything breaks. We were sitting in church. We might do a Perez Hilton live tomorrow. We don't know. We are sitting in church one morning, and there was an empty seat next to me with just a pair of shoes under the chair. We whispered, must have been just. Yes. Oh my God. I was a kid. I'd be sweating in church. Thank you, Ratui. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you so much for the uncle. Appreciate you, babe. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ratui. Thank you very much, my dear. Appreciate you. Thank you all. Thank you, Sue, Dana, everyone. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Seeking justice, yeah. Thoughts, prayers, anything that's good his way, and his kids, and his mom. It's really sad. Thank you, Kimchi. All right, good night, everyone. God bless you all. Take good care of yourselves. You only get so many trips around the sun. Good night. Good night, Kelly. 3 Pugs. Sherry, everyone. Okay. Good night, everyone.